welcome to my channel, Sanguine Sharanya this show.
Happy to sort of meet you. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you for coming and spending your valuable time.
Sure.
Can you tell us more about your company, Nowfloats, and its achievements?
Okay. So Nowfloats is a company. We are there since 2011 now, and our aim, our vision with Nowfloats is to really simplify the digital journey of every business in India. Right. So we build technology solutions that caters to right from a micro SME, which is a small merchant, to the large enterprises in India, right? So when it comes to a MSME, the micro small businesses and micro SMEs, we help them get online and grow their digital business online. When it comes to the enterprise side, we have a plan of product which helps the enterprises to accelerate the cloud journey, right? Because that is what digital means to them. So yeah, so our aim is to really simplify digital for every business in India, because digital is becoming a very important aspect of running a business, right? So and given the fact that not every enterprise or business has the digital maturity or what do you call the digital savviness to figure out what is the right way to do it, hence they need a technology solution which really simplifies the journey. And achievements, we have 26,000 customers who trust us. That in the MSME space, there's some large enterprises in India in the insurance sector, in the BFSI sector, in the retail sector, who have used our solutions to move to cloud in matter of a month or so, right? So yeah, so that's been our journey.
Okay. How did you decide the name Nowfloats?
So a good question. If you look at the word now means now, and
The present time.
yes, the present time, and floats. If you look at the floats, inspiration comes from a balloon, right? So if you look at our hypothesis was consumers want to find latest and the relevant information around them, right? So hence, when we go to a small business, right, most of his customers come within a 5 kilometer radius, right? So what matters is what is happening now and something that is tagged to a location. So that's why the whole name Nowfloats came into being.
Okay. In one of your videos, you mentioned that you have started loving computer at a younger age. When did it actually started?
When I was in class 5. Yeah, because class 5 is when I moved to a new school, and that school had a computer lab. Like previous to that school, I don't think my school had the previous schools I was in. They didn't have a computer lab. So the first time I saw computer was in class 5. I think it was age 10. So, yeah.
At that age, usually people feel like playing. How come this passion started within you?
No, so you're absolutely right. So it always starts with a game, right? Because when you get your computer, the first game, in fact, I played was Fox 3D, right? It was a shooter's game, right? And that sort of was that is something that pushed me towards like my thing was, why can't I build something like this? Like that was such a cool experience, right? That playing on a computer with Fox 3D, and hence my thought was, hey, why can't I build such stuff? So that's how the whole journey started. But yes, gaming is the first thing that kids got into. I got into Fox 3D, but the difference is there are two parts. Right? When you start with a game, either you go into the line of gaming, you say that, hey, I'm going to play games, or you can say that, okay, how do I create one? Right? So I went into that direction of thinking that, okay, how can I create a game like this? And that's how I got into programming.
Okay. Are you saying that people who feel that passion at a younger age can only grow up as a CEO or a co-founder of a company?
No, absolutely not. The fact is, 90% of the people from their birth to the end, they really never figure out what they want to do in life. Right? So that is wrong. It doesn't matter at what age do you figure out a passion, but then the day you figure out a passion, you become somebody else, right? So if you look at middle of the curve, a Gaussian curve, right? Okay. So in a bell curve or a Gaussian curve, the middle of the curve, if you look at as a society, the middle of the curve optimizes their lifestyle to be happy, or the society definition of happy. Right? When you start following your passion, that somehow goes against the society definition, because you get blinded by your passion, right? You might discover your passion at the age of 10, you might discover the passion at the age of 50, right? So the age really doesn't matter. The point is figuring out what your passion is. That's more important than what age do you figure that out.
At first, you joined Microsoft. For most of the employees, it's a dream. But you left the Microsoft just like that and started a new company. Can you let us know more about the why factor you spoke in your videos?
Sure. So if you look at, no, I would like to correct yourself, right? So it's not that for most of the employees it is a dream job. It is for most of the people it is a dream job. Why, I'll tell you, right? This grass is green on
Yeah.
the other side of the fence, right? When you're outside Microsoft, you all, like as a kid, when I was in college, it was a big deal. Oh, I have to get into Microsoft. You know, that's a dream company. So grass is green on the other side of the fence. Again, I'm not distorted Microsoft, but then once you get into the corporate, so because I got lucky, I got an opportunity to work with great people, and your father is one of them, and that sort of gives you more confidence that hey, I am, I mean, a fresh out of the college is being respected as equally as senior people there. So Microsoft really had a great culture, which sort of instilled confidence that hey, it is worth making an attempt, right? Because at Microsoft we never had a senior, junior, or the years of experience culture, right? We never had that thing in our team, and that gives you confidence when you are treated as equal, and that too in a company where everybody's a rock star, and as a college student you are treated as equal. So that's really give you confidence. Second is the fact that I was from a government college which was not known, and most of the people who get into Microsoft as a college recruit are from IITs or NITs and from reputed college, right? My college, nobody has heard about it. It's a government college, and that also was uh, I think that helped me really push myself hard when I was in the job, because anybody come from IIT has a chip on the shoulder, right? Hey, I'm from IIT or I'm from NIT, right? Being from a being from a random college gives you the confidence that hey, you can. Being from a random college gives you that push or the fire that hey, I have to prove myself. So that plus the fact that you are always treated with respect and equality really gives you that internal confidence that yes, I should venture out and at least attempt building something. So that was my whole thing, right? Let me at least attempt it, rather than thinking that the biggest mistake that people do in life, or the biggest, I would say, the worst state a human being can be in is the fact that I wish I had done that. Because you can't just look back at time and say that I wish I had done that, because that's of no use. You cannot go back in time and fix it, right? So there's no point in repenting. So as an engineer, you always want to build stuff. So I thought, okay, I was not married. I didn't have the responsibility to take care of my parents because my dad was still having a job. So it was pretty easy for me to flip off a switch, go leave, attempt something, and let's see what happens, right?
Yeah. Doctors are treated as God in this society, especially during the corona times,
Yes.
which motivates students to be a doctor. What do you think is a motivation factor to be an engineer?
Solving non-biological problems. If a human body excites you, if biology excites you, cells and the entire universe of the human body, right? The entire universe that runs inside you. If that excites you, become a doctor. What if art excites you? Of course you can't become a doctor. What if a machinery excites you? Of course you can't become a doctor, right? So it depends on the what really drives you. If the human body, the human biology drives you, then yeah, of course you should become a doctor. You should not become a doctor just because doctors are treated as gods,
Yeah.
because then you will be nobody. If you, so keep this in mind, right? Like if there are 100 smart people, each one of them has no value. If there are 100 super smart people and one of them is a bit lower in IQ, he will stand out. So being the brown egg is more important. I mean, being the brown egg is where you easily get discovered, rather than the herd mentality that doing the obvious thing. So I usually recommend people to at least step back and think, if it is an obvious solution, there has to be something wrong in it, because you're not the only person thinking about it. There are 1 million other people thinking about the same thing. So how do you differentiate yourself from others? Never follow the herd mentality.
Yeah, some people blindly take their choice, like because their doctor is in a higher post and they are treating more better than engineers. They take the doctor job like that.
If you are no, exactly right. So if you are now, let's build up on the example. As you said, ki doctor are in a higher position. If your aim, then if you look at in the example you said, the reason why the doctor was in higher position, not that the doctor is he wants to solve the human problem, right? So because your aim was to get to higher position throughout the career, the person would just keep aiming to go higher in position. He would never even discover the passion is, or maybe the passion is to just go in a higher position, right? So it's important that you discover the passion and chase that rather than chasing higher position or respect or whatever. Respect comes automatically when you really make an impact on the society or in people's life, right? That's the only way people respect you. You can't demand respect. You can't, you really can never demand respect.
Okay. You said technology should help the society. How
Yes.
far you think your company is successful in that aspect?
Oh, I don't think we have even got to a substantial impact at all. We are still at the very surface of scratching. There's 16 million MSMEs in India. And guess what? I have 26,000 MSMEs, right? So there's a huge gap to cover. So though we have touched 26,000 MSMEs and we are able to, we are enabling them to run their digital business, I think we're still at the surface. India is much deeper and India is huge and vast to really get to. And that's one of our aim, that how do we go deeper into India and make a substantial impact on the society, right? Today we are still at the surface.
Okay.
And that's what drives us, right? Like we are at the surface, and that's the drive that comes in. Okay, hey, we have helped 26,000. Can we help more? Because everybody, all the 60 million MSMEs in India want now, especially in current times, they have to go digital. There's no second thought in it, right? So this is the time that you got to leverage to really reach out to every MSME in India. At least make them aware that such a product exists.
Do you think technology should have helped more during the Corona time? We have apps like Arogya Setu, but anything more than that?
Well, that depends on the innovators, right? So, and if you look at coronavirus times, technology, the usage of technology came very upfront. It was very obvious that you got to use technology right from, right from the fact that the way government tracked the spread of the virus, right? So you had a database which the government published, which could tell you that which exact person is was affected with the COVID-19 virus, whom didn't get in touch with. The entire traceability of the virus, right, was possible because of the technology. Number one. Number two, imagine we didn't have a technology these, let's say in today's day and age, and such a COVID-19 virus hits, it would have consumed 1/3 of the world's population. Because understand that flu is a disease that affects 1/3 of the population every year, just normal cold, right? And that is also a virus. And this COVID-19 was a variant of that virus, right? And it was because of technology that within what? So the news started coming in January. Within 3 months, the entire world went to a lockdown, or everybody was talking about it. Yes, I agree that the virus spread to 200 countries, but look at the turnaround time. Look at the turnaround of every country, right? They could control it. If you look at, back in history, there was something called the Black Death, right? Read about it. So if you look at it, killed a substantial amount of the human population during the historical era because they didn't have technology. See, one is getting to know the virus. Second is how do you act, and third is to solve it. Because of technology, yes, at a global level, there were some mishandlings and we got to know about the virus pretty late. But then the way we reacted, the way we, reacted to the scenario was very quick. So many scientists. So already there are, I think, more than 50, if I'm not wrong, more than 50 vaccines that are already in testing phase, right? They're already doing trials. Now that was not possible without technology. So I think what is happening is really up the standard, and it's a global community, right? Do not see technology as a country thing. Technology is a global thing, right? The fact that somebody in Israel has figured out a vaccine, if that gets passed, that will spread globally, right? So technology is something that unites people across boundaries. There's nothing to do with a country. It is not a country's policy. The technology is every human's right these days.
Yeah. During lockdown, let's say migrant workers send an SMS to your app, to an app, let's say, and the app approaches to the donors who can help. You already have such an app. Maybe extending could have helped. No?
True. So no, we are not a consumer. We are not a B2C company. We are not a consumer-facing company. As Nowfloats, we focus on we stand for the business owner, the small business owner. So hence, all the tools and solution that we build enables the MSME, the small business owner, to be able to run his business to scale his digital business, right? So hence, we do not want to come in between the small business and the consumer, right? So we do not build consumer based apps. Our whole thing is for small business, and we build technology solutions for small business owners and not for consumers. I mean, it's a different thought process, right? The reason we don't do it is because how do I tell you? Like, for example, Facebook versus have you heard of SAP or Salesforce.com? No. Have you heard of IBM?
IBM?
Yeah. Have you heard of the company IBM?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. So if you look at, Facebook also, right? Now,
Yeah.
Facebook and IBM are two fundamentally different companies, right? Facebook is a company that focuses on consumers, end users. They don't sell to businesses. I mean, as a 90% of that thought process. IBM, on the other hand, sells to businesses. They don't sell to end consumers, right? IBM would sell to a large business and small business. That's what IBM is into. In IBM is, yeah, in. That said, so there are two different thought process: a B2B versus a business to business company versus a business to consumer company. We are a B2B company, so hence we are innovating and optimizing our product, our business model for the healthcare and education segment. By the
Okay. Where do you want to go next? What are your next goals?
way, okay, good question. Goal is to really make up. I mean, how do I tell you? You mean what is my immediate next goal, or like what is my life's ultimate goal? What's your question about?
Life's ultimate goal.
Okay. So life's ultimate goal for me is to not die unnoticed. I do not want to become a picture on the wall when I die.
Okay.
Because see, Mahatma Gandhi, right?
Yeah.
Einstein, right?
Yeah.
Buddha, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So those guys are still alive in your memories. The definition of being alive is the fact that how many people remember you. Like, for example, Sharanya, right? The reason you are alive because your mom and I talk about you, your friends talk about you, are alive in people's head. Now imagine a Sharanya which nobody talks about. It is as good as being dead. Right? So the immortality, and my definition of being immortal comes from the fact that how are you part of people's memory or not? People are living in their memory or not? Are people talking about you? So if you do something substantial in your life and make a real impact in people's life, that's when you become immortal and not become a wall. Otherwise, what happens is you become a wall on the you become a picture on the wall. Your generation remembers you. Maybe the generation after that remembers you. After that, people forget you. You don't become a Mahatma Gandhi or Einstein or a Buddha. Right?
So how do you want to grow up like that? Like how you have said, like just now you have said that you want to be in everyone's mind, not like being a poster like that.
A
So
picture, not
how
a
I picture, how do you want it to get your notice to everyone?
no idea. Just keep working, and I hope my work impacts people's life. That's it, right? So you keep following your passion. If you're, let's say, you're an artist, keep drawing. Maybe you end up building a Mona Lisa. Maybe you don't, right? But that's the only tool you have with you, your art or your skills, right? So keep using the skills to do work and leave it to the destiny of the rest, right? But then that's the only tool you have. If you try to find shortcuts or trying to uh, find workarounds to,
Smarter way.
yeah, you would definitely fall somewhere down the line. So just keep doing your work, and eventually somebody might your work might make an impact, or don't or might not make an impact. But the advantage would be you will never repent in your life, right? You would never think that I was just sitting and thinking of the ideas. At least you attempted the idea, so you'll be very satisfied and content with your efforts. That's important.
Okay. So Do you get enough time to spend with your family?
I mean, now during coronavirus times, family work has become the same thing, right? You are, your kid is running around, the kid is shouting, you're constantly, some errands would come up, like, so it is, the boundaries between professional and personal lives have disappeared. It has become life.
Normally, do you get enough time?
No. As an entrepreneur, no. Because, okay, time as in, even if you're home, your head keeps thinking about work, right? So what matters is how much of brain share do you give. So yeah, so your brain is usually focused towards a passion, but then depends, like, it depends on the kind of scenario you're in, how do you pick and choose. But then as an entrepreneur, you get, yes, that's a flaw of becoming an entrepreneur, and trying to chase your passion, that everything else becomes less a priority for you, right? Because if one thing is the most important thing, then the other thing has to be less important.
Yeah, yeah.
Two things cannot be as important. Like, if two things in your life cannot have same importance, it's flawed. That sentence is flawed. One thing is more important, second thing is less important. So yeah.
Okay. What do you want your kid to become? A doctor or an engineer?
Oh, I keep telling her, get into army. Yeah, I remember showing her that movie Simba, right? So I keep telling her, you know Simba, right? That Ranveer Kapoor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I keep telling her, yeah, you should become police officer. So it depends on her, whatever she wants to do. Our aim is to see, more than parents. I think parents are like guardians, right? They ensure that nothing wrong happens to you, to the kid. They can't tell kid what to do. They can only say that, okay, this is. I mean, they only, parents are there to protect the kid, and that's all about it. The kid has his or her own destiny, has his or her own thought process, and her and his own roadmap, and parents have nothing to do with it. Like, even
Okay,
if
you were saying it's his or her wish, your kid's wish.
yeah, that's every human. Like, you cannot control the willpower of any human being, whether that human being is your kid, whether the human being is your parent, whether the human being is your brother or sister or your friend. You have no control on the human's willpower. So even if you want to control the child's destiny as a parent, you cannot. That's the truth of life. So you yourself will get frustrated. I had put so much of expectation in my kid, and that, so you're actually spoiling yourself, not the kid. Kid is going to do what he or she wants to do.
At last, what are your suggestions to the students in choosing their career path?
Follow your passion if you are aware of it, but pick something. Don't just go with the herd mentality. Do not go with the herd mentality. If you're and you should not be embarrassed if you're about your passion, because in the societal structure, in our current society structure, people, as you said, value doctors and engineers, right? What about arts? What about history? What about social work? What about hygiene for villages? Today, a large population of India defecates publicly, right? So the amount of defecation people in the public, imagine the amount of diseases that spread. Now imagine defecation is your passion, right? So whatever it is, don't be embarrassed about it. Figure out what your passion is, or whatever you like to do in life. Just follow that path. And especially when you're in, the 10th and the 11th and the 12th, because those few years sort of, because then, I mean, it's not that it is too late. After that, you cannot figure out what your passion is, but at least when you're getting out of 12th, you are spending 3 to 4 years studying something advanced, right? So if that advanced thing is in alignment with your passion, it goes a long way with you. But let's say, for example, let's say you chose, just by chance ended up an engineer, right? But you never were interested to become engineer. You always wanted to become doctor. So what's the point of spending that 4 years studying engineering? Right. So yeah, follow your passion. Be truthful to yourself, right? At least, I mean, it's okay to lie to parents, but then do not lie to yourself. Never lie to yourself. Be honest with yourself. You should know who you are. नहीं तो क्या होता है, बहुत बार लोग pressure, people come in pressure, and then they actually end up fooling themselves. Yes, this is what I should do because everybody is asking me to do. So that is fooling yourself.
Okay. Thank you for spending your valuable time